1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Out there in mandolin land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with the old gospel song, Life is Like a Mountain Railroad in the key of G. I've done this song for the banjo in the past, and I had a request if I could do it for the mandolin. I kept this one in the beginner realm, but it's definitely a little bit more difficult for a beginner. I would call this advanced beginner. On a difficulty scale, I'd probably rate it about a 4 out of 10. So 1 through 4 is beginner, 5 through 7 is intermediate, and 8 through 10 is kind of advanced. So, like I said, this is probably about a 4 out of 10. So, definitely a little bit more on the advanced side of beginner, but I think you can get this one with some practice. We're going to play this great old melody up a little higher on the neck. That's going to allow us to add some more double stop harmonies, fill it up a little bit more, play it more like a traditional bluegrass style solo, kind of in the style of maybe like someone like Doyle Lawson, you know, where they're really playing out of those chord shapes. It's a really great skill to have. Once you get those chord shapes down, you can move it around very easily to play this solo in different keys. So we've got a solo for the verse and for the chorus, and then we'll break down some backup at the end. I'll break down both the solos note for note, just like I played at the beginning of the video. And I'll show you all my tips and tricks needed to play the lesson. All right, let's start breaking down. Life is like a mountain railroad in the key of G. Let's get to it. All right, let's start breaking down this verse solo to Life is Like a Mountain Railroad in the key of G. Let's start by playing the first 9 measures. That'll be like the opening melody line. And then we'll dive a little deeper into how we're creating this arrangement. Here we go. That a few times. I'll do it really slow. Okay, so basically what we're going to do with this solo to make it sound a little bit more bluegrass, instead of finding the notes down here, we're going to shift up a little higher and play it out of this shape up here, where I've got my index finger on the 5th fret of the D string and my second finger, middle finger, on the 7th fret of the low G string. And I'm going to work out of this shape, and then my ring finger is going to play the 9th frets on these strings. So you have... And then you can grab your pinky all the way up at the 10th fret. So it's kind of this little scale right here. So that's the shape we're working out of there. And we're going to do that so we can add more harmonies. I'll show you how to play it down the neck too. But just in case, but it's a fun exercise, and like I said, it makes it sound a little bit more traditional bluegrass. So we'll play the opening melody line. Here we go. Okay, so we're starting down in this shape, like I said, and we're playing a downstroke on beat 2, and then down up 7, 9, and then the 5th fret. Basically just keep your index finger down. So beat 1 is a rest. This is the pickup. So you have 1 and then 2, 3, and 4. So down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 1. And that's basically like playing it, instead of playing this down here, now we're playing it up here. It's allowing us to grab more harmony notes. And then you're going to quick move this shape up, or down toward the floor rather, and you're going to go into 5th fret on the A string and 7th fret on the D, or the D string, yes, the D string, and you're going to do a 7-9 hammer-on while picking. I'm just going to loop measure 2, so you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Our melody note is this 9th fret, which is the same note as this here, and we're filling it up with a harmony note. So that's why we're grabbing this note down here rather than, so now we can play these 2 notes, which normally would be on the same string. Now we can play those at the same time, which fills up the sound. So instead of going, we're going, you can hear it's a more full sound. That's kind of how you would play that line either spot, and you can pick which one you like. I like playing it up here though. And then measure 3, stay in this shape, play this little lick. What's really important about these shapes is just maintaining the positions and not lifting up your fingers unless you need to. So we're here in measure 2, we hammer on and pick. And then we land on beat 1, and then 5th fret on the D string. Quick move your fingers back to that 5 and 7. Hammer on again, and then 7th fret, and then 5th fret. The melody is... So that's the melody. Filling it up with hammer-ons. And harmony and picking. So, and then you're right here, and then play 5, 7, 5, and then open D, which is going to give you time to get back down. So you have, that's measure 5, and then move back down. So you have, let's do 4 and 5 together. And then you're down here into a C chord, so go into a 2-finger C, 2nd fret on the D and 3rd fret on the A, and you're going to play that, and then you're going to put your ring finger on the 5th fret. It's just a little bluegrass double stop move. So I'm not really hammering it on. You could do that, but I'm just basically starting with it off and then adding it. The melody is on the lower D string, and we're harmonizing with that higher C note, in this case over a C chord, so it works. And then into measure 7, and then a little move, and then open. So you're right here. This might be a little bit of a stretch. You can take your middle finger off if you need to, but we're going, we play this double stop in measure 7, and then 5, 7 on the D string, and then back to that double stop, and then down, and then open. Gives your hand a break. So the melody there is, and we're just grabbing that note with a closed note here instead of the open A, which just makes it, like I said, sound more bluegrass. Open D, 5, 7 slide on the low string, which is sliding into that D, just filling it up, and then a little fiddle move. So we're just riding on that D note with our pick, and then open to open, just filling it up. It just adds a little flurry. So that's what we're doing there. Let's play that 6 through 8 into the beginning of 9. Let's play that a few times. So we have... right hand practice to try and get those double stops to sound really clean. And then we just do 5, 2, open on the D, and then open 2 is going to start the next melody line. So let's play those first 9 measures. Not too hard. The hardest thing probably is just maintaining the position. So we have... shift. Do it even slower, and then I'll do it faster. Shift. Faster. So we're going to play that melody a few times. That's why we're practicing it a bunch of times. And then measure 10. Put your ring finger back on the 5th fret of the D string and drone the low 2 strings, which is going to fill it up its octaves. So the melody is this 5th fret on the D string, and we're droning with the lower string to fill it up. So you have... It's good right hand practice. Make sure you hear enough of this 5th fret, and you're not only getting the low string, you need to hear both. Because the melody is, in 9 and 10 is... It's just that 5th fret on the D string, so we're just filling it up with the lower note. So make sure you don't lose the melody. Really drive through both strings so you hear both notes. And then open D, 5th fret on the D, open A, and then a little lick we're going to play a bunch of times throughout the song. A quick 1-2 slide. So you have... Keep your first finger down the whole time during that lick until the very end. Don't do this, because you're going right back to that note, so don't lift it up. And then 5 open, 5th fret twice. So you have... That's measure 13. That's just setting up the next phrase. So you have... Let's play 9 through 13. We have... So pretty much, you can also drone in measure 9. I'll do that sometimes. You could even drone right here. Remember, the drone strings are optional. Once you get it down, you want to determine which of the 2 notes is the melody. That's the one you definitely want to play, but then you can add the drone strings kind of if you want to. I personally like adding lots of drone strings. I just think it's fun. It fills up the sound. I like that idea that there's a lot more going on than just the single note. So I like adding drone strings a lot myself, but they're optional. Okay, let's jump back into 13. So we have... And then a 5-7 slide with that little bouncing move. So we're going... Keep your pick moving there. Down, up, down, up, down. And then A string twice. And then A string actually 2 more times, 2 downstrokes. And then 2 open 2. And then a little lick over the D. Open A. This time 4 to 7 slide with your middle finger, which just makes it sound a little bit more like a D. that same bouncing thing where you add that little flurry at the end. A lot of times it's on the upstroke, right? So we're going. We did it down here earlier. So that's just something I do a lot to just fill up a section where it would normally just be one long note. It's just a nice way to fill it up. That'd be good to just loop. So that's our D lick.